This is the homework for 978, 979, and 996. In problem 978, if the measure of angle 1 equals 3x minus 18, and the measure of angle 5 equals 2x plus 12, you need to find x. So here's our transversal, and here are our two parallel lines. The first thing I do is I call them beach balls. And the reason why I create these beach balls is because these two are congruent angles, corresponding, or also I call them corresponding. They slide down the transversal. And what I do is orange, blue, and I do the pattern here, orange, blue, orange, blue. And that way I know that all of the orange are congruent angles, all of the blue are congruent angles. And there are the relationships, vertical angles are congruent, alternate interior, alternate exterior, corresponding. So those are all congruent angles. Here, an orange and a blue are supplementary angles. This straight angle has a sum of 180 degrees. So I know an orange and a blue has the sum of 180 degrees. So regardless of where they are, orange, blue, that's going to have a sum of 180 degrees. So by color coding it, it really makes it easy to find out which angles are supplementary, equal 180 degrees, and which angles are congruent, they're equal to each other. So I know that angle 1 and angle 5 are congruent. Angle 1 and angle 5, they're the same color. Now, not only the same color, but these are corresponding angles. They slide down the transversal, and corresponding angles are congruent. So, in order to solve this, we have the measure of angle 1 equals this. So here's this angle. The measure of angle 5 equals this, so I put it here because they're congruent to each other. So now I solve for x. So this has a greater value of x's, so I'm going to subtract 2x from the right side. And what you do to one side, you do to the other. That created a zero pair. 3x minus 2x equals x. Inverse property of addition. Inverse property of subtraction is addition. So we're going to add 18 to both sides, zero pair. 12 plus 18 equals 30, so x equals 30. For part B, we have the measure of angle 3 equals 4x minus 27, and the measure of angle 6 equals x plus 39, and we need to find x. So here we have angle 3 and angle 6. You can tell these are the same colors, so they have the same measure. They have the same measure because these are alternate interior, inside the parallel lines, and they're alternate interior. So we know that these two angles, their measures are equal or congruent, so we know that these two are going to equal each other. So now I set the two angles equal to each other, angle 3 and the measure of angle 6, and now I'm going to solve for x. Inverse property of addition is subtraction, so I subtract x from both sides, create a zero pair. 4x minus x equals 3x. Inverse property of subtraction is addition. Add 27 to both sides, zero pair. 39 plus 27 equals 66. Inverse property of multiplication, this is 3 multiplied by x, is division. This created the giant 1. 1 multiplied by x is just x. And 66 divided by 3 equals 22. For problem 978, if measure of angle 4 equals 49 degrees and the measure of angle 6 equals 5x plus 41, we need to find x. Well, here we have the measure of angle 4 and the measure of angle 6. Well, it's easy that since we color coded it, we have the beach balls, orange and blue. Orange and blue are supplementary angles. This is a straight angle, and supplementary angles or straight angles have a sum of 180 degrees. It's a half circle. So now we know anywhere there's an orange and blue, it'll have a sum of 180 degrees. So 4, the measure of angle 4 plus the measure of angle 6 equals 180 degrees. This is called same side interior angles, interior inside the parallel lines. So same side interior angles have a sum of 180 degrees. So now that I know that same side interior angles, the sum of them equal 180 degrees, orange plus blue is going to equal 180. Now I can combine like terms. 49 plus 41 equals 90. Inverse property of addition is subtraction, so I'm going to subtract 90 from both sides. 0 pair. 180 minus 90 equals 90. Inverse property of multiplication is division. Divide both sides by 5, created the big 1. 1 multiplied by x is x. 90 divided by 5 equals 18. So x equals 18 degrees. For 979a, we need to find the measure for angle x. In order to do that, we can use the exterior angle theorem. The sum of the two remote interior angles equals the exterior angle. So we have 46 plus 90, 46 plus 90 will equal the exterior angle, which is x. 46 plus 90 equals 136. (46 plus 90 equals 136. So x equals 136 degrees. For problem 979b, we need to find the measure of angle x. And remember, when you use the beach balls, we have orange, green, this same congruent angle, supplementary angles, orange, green. That will let you know that an orange and a green it will be 180 degrees, has the measure of 180 degrees. If they're the same color, those are congruent angles. They're equal to each other. These vertical angles are congruent. But we have an orange and a green, so we know that the sum of these two angles are going to equal 180 degrees. So x plus 77 equals 180. Inverse of addition is subtraction. So we have x equals 103 degrees. For 96a, we need to find the value of x. And we know that this is a right angle, and right angles have a measure of 90 degrees. So we know that this angle plus this angle is going to equal 90 degrees. So we have 6x plus 4x plus 10 equals 90. Combine like terms. We get 10x. 6x plus 4x equals 10x. Subtract 10 from both sides. 0 pair. 10x equals 80. Inverse property of multiplication is division. Created the big 1. 80 divided by 10 equals 8. So x equals 8 degrees. For problem B, we have a straight angle here. Straight angle has a measure of 180 degrees. These two angles are supplementary angles, and supplementary angles have a sum of 180 degrees. So I know that this angle plus this angle will equal 180 degrees. Now we combine like terms. 5x plus 3x equals 8x. 13 plus 7 equals 20. Subtract 20 from both sides. 0 pair. 180 minus 20 is 160. Inverse property of multiplication is division. Created the big 1. What you do to one side, you do to the other. And we get x equals 20. So 20 degrees. If you were to try to find this measure, if you needed to find this measure, you would just do 3 times 20, which is 60, plus 7 is 67. For problem C, we need to find the value of x. Remember that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle equal 180 degrees. So this angle plus this angle plus this angle equals 180 degrees. So now I can combine like terms. Here all the x's. 3x plus 2x plus 2x equals 7x. 5 plus 17 plus 18 equals 40. Subtract 40 from both sides, and inverse property of addition is subtraction. 0 pair. 7x equals 40. Inverse property of multiplication is division. Created big 1. 140 divided by 7 equals 20. So x equals 20. If you needed to find the measure of each of these angles, you could go ahead and substitute x with 20. So 3 multiplied by 20 is 60, plus 5 is 65. And you could do that for each of the measures, each of the angles.